Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you are having a great day. Today I'm going to be showing you a few details about each of my modules and then showing you a clip of them running. So this is probably going to be a pretty long video, so grab some snacks and grab a drink. And I hope you enjoy seeing all of my modules and a little bit of backstory behind them. Next module is Stanley Snail's chairlift. There's the man himself, Stanley Snail. There we go. As you can see, it starts with a tilted input bin with an agitator. And it's not working properly at the moment. But then it goes into this mechanism where it would let one ball through at a time, and you'll see how that works when I show you the footage. But then the balls roll down here and get on the actual ski lift. This is by far my biggest module. The first version of it was built overnight one night when I couldn't sleep, and overall it's been built and rebuilt, and this is by far my biggest labor of love when it comes to GBC. It's still not exactly reliable, but it's a lot better than it was. The biggest problem is sometimes they won't pick up the ball, and the balls kind of back up all throughout here, and it needs to be turned off and manually kind of cleaned out the stuck balls. But yeah, they go up here, and they go by this piece, which causes the car to flip up, and in turn dump the ball out onto this platform. It rolls on to the next module. Back there at the back, you can see the motor for the agitator and the timing mechanism, and the motor for the ski lift. But yeah, this is definitely my biggest module, and it has not been to a show, but it'd probably be the biggest crowd pleaser out of all of my modules. And now I'll show you some footage of it running. The next module is one that has a very special place in my heart, because at my first ever GBC show, it was Brick World Indianapolis 2023. That was my first show. I brought this to that show, and it had a lot of issues, but then one of the guys there, John, he was nice enough to program my NXT so that way it wouldn't jam. I will demonstrate the programming real quick, but while we're waiting for that to turn on, as you can see, it's just a normal sweeper basically, but it had a problem where it would come down on a ball and get stuck. So I will demonstrate the programming. So as you can see, this is the normal rotation, but if it were to come down on a ball and get stuck, it goes up and resets itself like that. How cool is that? So that is programming that one of the guys there did. He had been doing GBC for years. So yeah, I was honored to have him program one of my modules for me, and I've never had issues with it. And I'll show you some footage of it running. these next 4 modules are kind of special because they all run off one motor with a power standard that I created. So if you'll notice, between each module, there's a little axle there. Well, that axle would spin, powering each of the modules. This is the little ramp that powers them. There's the motor. That axle would just spin through the bottom of all the modules, causing all of them to be powered. So we would start with a modification of the, I believe, 2015 Brickworld module, the tipper. Yep, it's a modification of that, modified to work with my system. So this modification was a separate modification done by someone else, and I followed the instructions and then made it to work with my power standard. Then we have a simple conveyor using old style chain, then the power module, then a simple sweeper. The most special part about it being that it has the old 1980s and 90s or whatever Samsonite gears. And just for a fun fact, I have a bunch of those Samsonite pieces in here, including more big Samsonite gears. But yeah, and then we have one of my favorite modules, this windmill module. So that it has an agitator and then a little gate that goes up and down, letting the balls in one at a time for the windmill to spin and take up. And that is the connectable modules. This module is a modification of the 2018 Brickworld Workshop module, the ball pump. I modified it to make it taller and to have a completely adjustable output, so it can turn that way and it can turn that way, so it can loop back into itself, or it can take up a short distance, or it can take up a long distance, maybe if a module needs to be pulled. But yeah, now you will see some footage of this thing working. The next module is my tread module. As you can see, it uses those quote useless tank tread pieces to kind of squish the balls up, squeeze them up and squish them out, as Tom Atkinson once said. Yep, it's got a very kind of rounded input bin, and it kind of shoots them out the side here. And this was the first module to get an episode of module maintenance. Yep, this is the first, and as of this recording, only module to ever get an episode of module maintenance. So yeah, this module is pretty cool. have my small stepper module, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a small stepper. These little steps go up and down. I'll pull off a gear to be able to show you. There we go. We've got those gears there. There's the motor. Let me get these back on. Alright, yep. This module is very reliable. Never had an issue with it. And finally, last but certainly not least, this is my simple conveyor with zigzag ramp. This module is one of my oldest modules. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is my oldest surviving module. As you can see, it has a very deep input bin. It can hold a lot of balls. And it's powered by the top sprocket instead of the bottom one. And then we just have a simple zigzag ramp. And I have a GBC sign up there behind that thing that used to be on this ramp. It used to be made a different way when it went to the show. But yes, this module did go to Brickworld Indy 2022. So that's very, very neat. Or not 2022, it was 2023, my bad. But yeah, this is the last module. So I will show you some footage of it now. Wait, just a side note. That is the original name tag that they put on my module when I first got there at Brickworld, so these mean a lot to me. There's a couple modules I have that still have these. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, as it really helps out the channel. And I hope you have a great day.